For more on all of this, we're pleased to be joined here at the anchor desk by presidential strategist and Newsmax TV political analyst Dick Morris. Dick, of course, the co-author of Power Grab, Obama's dangerous plan for a one-party nation. And Dick, it seems like only about 12 hours ago, you and I were here on this anchor desk to talk about Super Tuesday. Now it's the day after, Wednesday, and I'm just interested about Thursday morning, with Mitt Romney going out to speak at the Institute of Politics at the University of Utah. A friendly crowd. Will we see him announce his candidacy for 2016?
No, he wouldn't do that at this point. You don't plan for a Hail Mary pass. You do a Hail Mary pass after nothing else works. And we are very far away from nothing else working. The idea that Trump and Hillary have these nominations sewn up is absurd. It is ridiculous. They may have a slight advantage, but that's all. Trump has 315 delegates. That means he only needs 910 more. And Cruz has 810 more. And Cruz has 210. He needs 900 more. A long way to go. But I do believe that, as Churchill said after Dunkirk, this is not the end. This is not the beginning of the end, but it is the end of the beginning. Well, this is the beginning of the end of the beginning.
Okay, and the Churchill impersonation was just added value.
Yep. In 2 weeks, the rigor mortis that has begun to affect Kasich and Rubio will be complete, and they'll be forced out. Rubio because he'll lose Florida, Kasich because he'll lose Ohio. And the process of killing their candidacies began now with their dismal showing on Tuesday, and it will advance through future dismal showings in Kansas, Kentucky, Maine, Louisiana, Puerto Rico, and Michigan. But then you will get Cruz against Trump. And that is a fight that will go on for months. It's like Ali Frazier. I mean, that's going to go on and on and on. And, you know, the rule in politics is if they see you, they kill you. Precision-guided munitions, they don't miss anymore. Sam never misses, got to be a stealth aircraft. Well, Trump can't do anything in stealth. And he's up there, and every client he's defrauded, every student who feels he's been let down, every employee who is fired, every contractor who is stiffed, every public body that feels like was run over, every company that feels it was bought out, all of them are going to surface and holler and howl at once. And you will see him going through a baptism of fire. Cruz, on the other hand, can advance in Trump's shadow, which is pretty formidable. Nobody's going to pay attention to Cruz. He can't win. And going from not being able to win to winning is almost the only way you can win. And on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders will stay alive. He demonstrated an ability to win states where no blacks live. Colorado, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and Vermont. There are plenty of those states, enough to keep Bernie alive. Not in majority, but alive. And as long as there is a receptacle for anti-Hillary votes, he'll be have a real chance, because the FBI primary hasn't happened yet. And that's going to be the key Democratic primary.
Dick, Bill Kristol of the Weekly Standard has made no bones about not supporting Donald Trump, not liking him very much. He was on MSNBC's Morning Joe earlier today, and he said, as you just said here, the nomination doesn't belong to the Donald yet. Let's look and listen.
The truth is, if Trump doesn't win Florida and Ohio, it remains very much of an open race. Now, Trump is in the driver's seat, no question. I don't want to be foolish about this, but I don't think people need to roll over and necessarily bow to the inevitability of the hostile takeover.
Okay, so you hear that. Go ahead.
I think Trump will win Ohio and Florida, if for no other reason than that Kasich and Rubio can't hold their home states. And they're there, and therefore Cruz can't jump in and make it a Cruz-Trump race. But I don't think that that puts it away. I think that gives him a lead, a significant lead. But, oh, my God, we have so many other states to come. And God knows what's going to happen to Donald between now and then.
But let me go back to a phrase that was used in that segment we just saw from MSNBC, quote, hostile takeover. Is that how the Republican establishment views Donald Trump and his movement?
Yeah, I think they do. But then there are also a lot of people that feel it also that are not the Republican establishment. The evangelicals, for example, feel that this guy who can't be trusted on any of their core issues is using a position that's kind of phony on these issues as a way of preempting the field. And I think the Tea Party feels the same way. The way you have to look at it is there was the Republican establishment. Then the Tea Party left and the evangelicals left. They both supported Ted Cruz. A bunch of people that didn't leave are now leaving, and they're supporting Donald Trump. But the establishment and the Tea Party and the evangelicals all feel like it was a hostile takeover. And it is not a done deal. For goodness sakes, it's not even close to a done deal. This will be resolved on June 6th.
Well, that's interesting. And in the interim, you articulated all the divisions, all the different groups. But when we looked at exit polling yesterday, about 60% of Republican voters told the exit pollsters they felt betrayed by their party. How on earth do you round up that huge group of Republicans and get them united again?
By giving them someone who screams betrayal, but is not necessarily festooned with Trump's baggage. That's Cruz's power. Rubio can't do that. Kasich can't do that. But Cruz can. He's made all the right enemies. Now, that's not to say Cruz is going to win. Trump still has a significant edge and has done a very good job. But it is clearly not over.
And this morning, seeing that clip of Lindsey Graham, of all people, on CBS this morning, publicly pondering supporting Ted Cruz. What does that tell you?
Well, it says a lot. And don't forget Carson's withdrawal. Every single vote Carson got goes right into the Cruz column, despite the animosity between them. The media is always loving to jump to conclusions. But, Yogi had it right. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. And in the Republican primary, the fat lady is the negative baggage on Donald. And in the Democratic Party, the fat lady is the FBI.
Let me go back to Dr. Carson, because he has been widely complimented as just a stand-up guy. That breakthrough moment at the National Prayer Breakfast when he gave such a stirring speech right there with Barack Obama sitting there. Now, you were insisting all through this campaign that he did not have the skills politically to see it all the way through. Not so much your personal vindication on that call, but what in your mind did Carson bring to this race that will be absent as he exits the stage?
Purity. He's absolutely pure. Now, one of the problems with purity is it has no taste. You can be satisfied that this water is pure, but it still tastes like water. And Cruz brought no unique flavoring, no unique brand, and no energy level to it. But he is pure, and we'll miss that.
Let me return to the line of questioning we began with at the outset of this conversation. Mitt Romney, tomorrow at the University of Utah. You don't believe he's going to announce then, but no. Does he reserve the right? Can you still see Romney getting in this race?
He might, as a last-minute Hail Mary. There's a parallel here. In 1964, when Barry Goldwater was steamrolling to the Republican nomination, beat Nelson Rockefeller, and the party hierarchy, the northeastern Wall Street hierarchy, Tom Dewey, and felt that he had hijacked the party. At the very last minute, they dug up Bill Scranton, the governor of Pennsylvania, and he jumped into the race with like 5 weeks left and got killed. That would be a Romney play at this point.
Dick Morris, as always, we appreciate your insights and analysis. We'll see what goes on with Mitt, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night in that debate in Detroit. Speaking of that discussion in Detroit, after the candidates have their say, we'll have our say right here on Newsmax TV. Join us tomorrow night for our post-debate coverage. I'll be back behind the anchor desk, and Dick Morris will be here along with others you've enjoyed through this campaign. That's tomorrow night at 11 Eastern, right here on Newsmax TV.